Hello there, everyone. TheAndrata here, and welcome back to episode 13, 14, can't remember which one it is, of our All the Mod 7 Season 2 Let's Play series, where today we have a lot of stuff that we got to get done. We're working on Flux Networks, we're working on Immersive Engineering, we're working on Mechanism. We got a lot of, we're putting our hands into a lot of pots here and having a lot of fun with it. So let's get started. Welcome back, my friends, to another wonderful day here in the world of TheAndrata, where today we are going to be working fast and furious. We got a lot of things that I want to do, work on, and get started. So yeah, we're going to be working quickly as we can. First thing that I want to do, so last episode anyway, we left off with EvilCraft. We're pretty much wrapped up with what I want to do with EvilCraft for now. We'll get into some other stuff in the future, specifically like this colossal blood chest and stuff for repairing items and things like that. But I think we're gonna move on from EvilCraft for now and work on, if you may have guessed, a gas burning generator from Mechanism. We need to get power taken care of. I'm tired of getting limited on my power usage, especially for my builder out in our mining dimension. Not that this is working terribly, but it's not working like super great. We're only producing what is this, like 380 or 480 RF per tick, I think, out of this, being that it's maxed out right now. Well, I could get another auxiliary reaction chamber in there, but we're producing 360 RF per tick at max. I want more. Like, I'm greedy. I want more. I also want to get into wireless power, so that way we don't have to worry about running cables anywhere or anything like that. We can just hook up a flux plug and get going with that. Before we do any of that, though, I want to go ahead and work on getting myself looting on my sword. Looting 7, I have the book here, obviously, and it is made with EvilCraft. If you just look up looting, it's easy peasy. Vein swords. Very similar to our fortune, where we got it on the axe. The vein sword makes looting, and it's fairly simple to make these. It's those dark power gems, which again, if you remember, we're able to make those cheaply with dark gems being infused, dark sticks and spikes, and that gets us vein swords. So I went ahead and did the thing. I went ahead and farmed some more mobs and everything, got some more blood and all that good jazz. Again, as you can see, we are full on our blood tanks and all that stuff. I just basically refilled everything and just ran around in circles, killing mobs, doing the thing. Ended up getting our books. Enough blood to get our books. In total, for our vein swords, in order to get looting 7, it took 32 of these swords, because it is your level or looting level 2, so it took 32 of these books to get up to looting level 7. So if you're gonna do this, you're gonna be farming blood for a little while, essentially, because you need a lot of blood, because you have to make the books and you have to get the swords, get the extracted off, enchant them and everything, combine them together, yada yada yada, bada bing bada boom, we're good to go. And it's only 14 levels to apply this bad boy, so we're gonna go ahead and do so. So let's grab our 14 levels. And I have no problem putting this on our All the Modium sword because it's indestructible. So we literally have looting 7 and it will never go away. We don't have to worry about unbreaking, mending, and all that stuff, or sword breaking. We just now have looting 7. This will make my Enderman farming much easier. Not that it's been going terribly or anything, because I'm basically immune to everything at this point. But yeah, it helps. Okay, it helps. So with that being done, that was my first goal. So in order to get ourselves our gas burning generator, right, it is a mechanism process where we get the generator and we are going to burn ethylene. Ethylene is the fuel that we are going to burn the gas for the gas burning generator portion. I don't think we can see ethylene. Ethylene. Where is ethylene? I swear I'm spelling this right. Ethylene. Yeah, didn't I spell it that way? Maybe not. Whatever. So anyway, ethylene, if we look at the usage of this, sorry, not the recipe of this, usage of this, liquid ethylene. The gas burning generator is weird that it doesn't always show fluids that can go into the gas burning generator and things like that. Gas burning. Its JEI-ness is weird. But anyway, you can burn ethylene inside of the gas burning generator. It produces something like 40,000 RF per tick or something like that. A nice amount, and it's fairly easy to set up overall. In order to do so, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need some source of plant material, some biofuel. Our biofuel that we're going to use is melon seeds. If we take a look at melons, if we take a look at biofuel, really, biofuel. It may be 2 words. Yes, biofuel. This is made inside of a mechanism crusher. And if we do melon slices, we get 4 per melon slice, right? And to get melon slices, we can go ahead and precision sawmill down melons, or we can put them into a compacting drawer and get melons. Super simple. And to get melons, we need to go ahead and get ourselves a garden cloche from Immersive Engineering. I tried to see if we could use a bonsai pot for this, and I don't 100% know. It is not on the list of stuff that we can make in the bonsai pot. So I'm going to assume that it's not going to work. I don't always trust JEI though, so we're going to go ahead and try this out and see if we can plant melon seeds, but it looks like bonsai pots are mainly meant for trees. So if I put melon seeds in here, they don't even go in. Can't do anything with this. So a bonsai pot will not work with melon seeds. So we do need to get some other sort of auto planting generationism merriness, which is going to be a garden cloche from Immersive Engineering. It's going to be our best option, I believe. Maybe a phytogenic insulator, but a garden cloche is going to work well. They're not terribly too expensive. Just needs a little bit of power. We can then take those the melons that are going to grow from the garden cloche, dump them into a compacting drawer here, which I already tested out to validate because this is different. So I wanted to make sure that this is going to work, and it does. The way that it works is you, let's take all these out, right? So if we get a melon, I think I have melons in here. Come on. The whole typing thing is just driving me nuts. Melons. Let's go. Give me a melon, please. You're going to go into slices, aren't you, immediately? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. You got to put melons in there. How much blood do you have? Not terribly too much, to be honest with you. I've pulled that blood out of there a couple times. And I don't know why I'm walking. Anyway, the important thing to remember with this is that you have to put the melon slices in here. Don't put your melons in here. There is a compacted version of melons. So if you put the full size version of the melon in here, what it's going to do is it's going to give you the full size version of the melon here, the compacted melon block 1, and then the compacted melon block 2 here. You got to put the slices here, and then it will go appropriately. But basically now, if we put melons in here, it will automatically convert over to slices. We don't need a precision sawmill. We don't need anything super duper fancy. We literally just use this and we get melon slices without having to do any extra work or anything like that. So we have that set up here. So biofuel is going to be produced by our garden cloche and our compacting drawer. What's going to happen is our melon slices are going to feed into a crusher, and that's going to produce our biofuel, right? The biofuel is then going to move down into a pressurized reaction chamber. And with that pressurized reaction chamber, we are going to add right here, we're going to add any kind of water and hydrogen. Hydrogen is going to be made from a electrolytic separator with water and hydrogen and oxygen. We're going to dump all the oxygen, all the hydrogen's just going to go straight into our PRC, and it's going to produce our stuff. And then the liquids or the gas is going to go to our gas burning generator. Bada bing, bada boom. We have a bunch of power. It's a very simple setup. It's a very OP setup. A lot of packs nerf the production of gas burning generators because they can be very, very OP. But this pack does not. So that's what we are going to do. In order to do so, though, again, we need that garden cloche. We need to automate the production of our melons, right? It's all dependent on biofuel to be able to do all of this stuff. So we need to get ourselves a garden cloche. And there's a couple things we're going to need to do in order to make the garden cloche. First things first, though, we're gonna switch gears slightly, and we're gonna go ahead and make ourselves Flux Networks. Flux Networks is a fantastic mod. It allows for wireless power transfer, wireless RF transfer, extremely simply. It is one of my favorite mods. I have a mod spotlight on Flux Networks. If you want to know how it works, it's a 1-part 20-minute episode, breaks down Flux Networks and shows you exactly how to use it, because it is one of the best mods for wireless power transfer. In order to get started with Flux Networks, we are going to need what is known as these Flux cores, which is going to require Flux dust. Flux dust, it's gone through its iterations of how it is produced in past series or past iterations of Flux Networks. And you'd throw it into lava before to produce the flux. Now we do this process. So basically what we have to do is above bedrock, 1 block above bedrock, we are going to put 2 blocks essentially. So 1, 2, we're going to put a piece of obsidian. On the bedrock, we are going to drop redstone dust. I'm going to go ahead and get my magnet and turn this off so that we're not picking any of this stuff up at the moment. And we're going to just toss our redstone dust down underneath this. So just like so. And then all we have to do, punch the obsidian. It is a left click punch, not a right click punch. Right click won't do anything. But basically that's it. And it converts flux dust over to converts redstone over to flux dust. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Cobblestone can produce. Sometimes it'll go back to obsidian. Sometimes it'll turn into cobblestone. But it's a very simple process to do, and you get flux dust. And again, you can bulk craft like I did. I threw 4 stacks down there, and we got 4 stacks of flux dust out of it. So great, perfect. With that, we are now able to make flux cores. I do need an Eye of Ender. We do have some ender pearls. I'm going to make like 4 of these, and that's going to be all of the blaze dust that I have, or blaze powder. We can make more blaze powder. I'm going to go ahead and get like a little bit more of this cooked up by putting it in our macerator. Macerator is the best place to make this. It gets us 5 blaze powder per, and that is the highest option outside of probably like an occultism crusher or something like that. Okay, so flux cores, we're now going to be able to make these. So let's grab 2 sets of those. And then we can make a flux plug and a flux point. Flux plug is going to require a flux block, which is going to be flux cores surrounding with flux dust. We're going to make that. Now, one thing I do want to point out, if you make a flux block, you can do the whole flux dust conversion. I don't think we can see it here, without having to go down to bedrock. Instead of doing it on bedrock, you can do it on flux block. So you don't have to go down. Once you make one of these flux blocks, we could place this here and do this whole automation wherever we want to, without having to do the whole bedrocky thing and go down, down to bedrock level. You can do it at home. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. We made a bunch. I don't know. We'll probably use all of this at some point, but it's more than enough for now. So we're going to get a flux plug. And we are going to get ourselves a flux point. Now, these are 2, we need more flux cores. These are 2 separate items from this mod. And basically what they do is input and output, okay? Input and output. We're also going to want, which I didn't add to my to-do list, we want a controller, which is going to require some more flux blocks. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to need 20 flux cores and then a little more. So we need more ender pearls, eyes of ender, I mean. Yeah, I don't know how many ender pearls I have left. I'm not going to have very much after that. Yeah, 8. We really need to go to the end so I can just kill a bunch of endermen. That should be enough. So I have 1 flux block. I'm going to need 2, 3, 4 more, and then 1 more set of flux cores. You can see how quickly these flux cores go, though, and a flux controller. These are the 3, I would say, bare minimum that you're going to need for a flux network. Technically, you don't need the flux controller. However, it makes it so that you can charge items in your inventory fairly simply. So I highly recommend the flux controller. It allows cross-dimensional inventory charging. So if you have things that take power, they'll stay charged no matter where you're at, anywhere. So let's set this up. So basically what I want to do is change this setup here, and we're actually going to need a second flux plug. Yeah. We're actually going to need... we're going to need, 1 more flux plug. 1 more flux plug. Just trying to math this out in my head, what we need. Ah, another Eye of Ender. But this should be good to go. So that's you. Really? Didn't I just make this? Oh, and we're gonna need another set of flux cores, aren't we? Jeez Louise. And another Eye of Ender. Man, this takes a lot of it's just a lot of all this micro crafting here, essentially. Because yes, sure, this recipe makes 4, but every recipe uses 4, so it really doesn't matter. They should just make it just be 1, because at that point, it honestly, it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and we're going to change this setup up a little bit here, okay? And then again, all of this is going to go away eventually. But what we want to do is I generally tend to set it up with 2 separate networks for our system, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get our Sterling Dynamo. We're going to place this bad boy down here, and we need to rotate it so that it faces a proper direction. Basically, we're going to go let it face up. Okay, so coal is going to be able to flow back into there, and then our power generation is going to be out of the top of this bad boy now instead of out of the bottom. So we're going to get power here. And what we're going to do is take one of our flux plugs and place it on top of this. Okay. Flux plugs, if you look at the tooltip, receive energy from adjacent blocks passively, adding it to our flux network. Points pull energy from our flux network. Okay. So we're going to add energy to our flux network, and this is going to be a new network over here. And we're going to call this our generators network. I generally segregate my networks. I can't erase this. It doesn't let me. Oh, there. Now it works. I have no idea. Okay. And I have to type everything. So we're going to do a generators network. So generally, I tend to segregate my networks. I have a power generation network, and then I have a usage network. So we have our generators network, which is where all our power generating blocks are going to go into. So what we do is then take this, and we're going to say, okay, here, you are going to be on our generators network. We're going to name it, and I always name my flux plugs. This is a Sterling Dynamo. Sterling Dynamo in. Okay. So this is going to say, okay, all power from this is going to go into this Sterling Dynamo. But it has nowhere to go. So it's all just chilling right here right now. We need to get another thing set up. So this is going to be a power receiving into our network, right? Receiving into the network. And I just realized I made the wrong thing. I should have made a flux point, not a flux plug. And we can't convert these, can we? Luckily, flux points are cheaper than plugs. And we're going to have an extra flux plug. That's okay. We'll need it eventually. Tell me I have one more ender pearl. Thank goodness. And good. Okay. Also, I have some coal on me. Go ahead and go away. Cool. Okay, so with that being done, we are now going to go ahead and set up our energy cube because we have no energy coming into here right now. It's all being basically, it's draining this guy. So what we're going to do is set a flux point because remember, points pull from the flux network into adjacent blocks. So again, we're going to set this up on our generators, and this is going to be our, excuse me, sir, let me type. What is this called? This is a energy cube. This is energy cube in. Okay. So what this means, we're going to bypass the limit, and the power surge doesn't really make a difference. These have infinite power transfer rate, so you don't have to worry about, anything like that. So basically what's happening now is our power is flowing into that flux plug and then coming out of this flux point into our energy cube. Makes sense, right? It's very simple. We don't have to do anything special. And yeah, that's basically that's a flux network setup. However, we need to set up other puts. So what we need is another flux plug like we have here. And we're going to change up our energy cube a little bit here. So the input is going to be on the top because we need to input power into our flux plug or into our energy cube, right? From our flux point into the energy cube. We also need to output to another network, which we're going to set up over here because it's the only place I can go because we have power cables coming off of the bottom there. And we are going to say outside of this to you know what? It's going to be easier if I grab my configurator because I don't know what side this is. But we're going to set this to be a output side, okay? Oh, I guess it already was. Well, that's me being a dingus. It was already set up to an output side. That's okay. But what we're going to do is just go ahead, put a Flux plug on that, and we're going to set up a new network. It's going to be a public network because it depends. If you're playing on a server, you can leave it. If you're not, whatever. And this is going to be called, what do I generally call this? This is power output. This is output network. And we'll call this green. Okay, this is going to be our green network. So we have an input network and we have an output network. And we're going to set this to that network. And so now items are going to flow, our power is going to flow out of this into our Flux plug. We're going to name this. This is our energy cube out bypass limit. So now power will be able to flow out of this energy cube. And if we need to power another machine, we can easily do so with this flux point that we have. So a demonstration of this would be to pop over to our mining dimension and swap out our system here. Basically, this whole thing is going to be null and void now. We don't need this anymore. We're going to go ahead and, well, basically negate it, but I'm going to just set this up over here on the side. Take our flux point, stick it on the side here and say, hey, sir, you're going to be on our output network. And look, it's going to drain and it's going to be filling this guy up. You can see output 1600 RF and it is going into this. It is going to be draining our power significantly back at home though. So we don't want that. What we want to do is limit this power a little bit. We want to be able to provide infinite power, but this builder will absolutely chew through all power that you can give to it. We don't want that. So we're going to limit it to, we're going to throttle it by using a pipe. So we're going to set this up there and then we'll put our flux point. And we need to set this to extract. Actually, if I remember, flux points don't work. Okay. Flux plugs don't work with the pipes mods. Flux points do. But now we're throttling this, right? So if we disconnect this whole thing, get rid of this, we have now throttled this. This is getting 256 RF per tick. And it's just, it's doing its thing. Easy output, 256. If we wanted to, we could upgrade this with a pipes upgrade. We could bump it up to 1,000 RF per tick if we wanted to speed this whole thing up, or we could bump it up to 8,000 or whatever we wanted to do. And then to uncap it, we could just get rid of this at some point whenever we get enough power. But I think for now, 256 is going to be okay. I'll probably get a basic upgrade in here and allow it to do 1,024, which is already going to be like 4 times more than what we were doing with our Stirling Dynamo. So that's great. But basically, this whole setup now is null and void. We don't need any of this stuff. I'll come tear this down later. That's all we need. Sweet. So now we have wireless power coming from home, all of our power gen at home. However, we're going to have a problem very soon, and that is we're not producing enough power to keep up with that, I don't believe. Maybe, but once our machines kick on, we're definitely not going to. We are okay now, but once machines kick on, we're going to be struggling. So we need to get other power set up, and that's going to take us all the way back to our original goal at the beginning of this episode that I kind of deviated a lot from and got distracted, but it was necessary distractions because we need to get Flux Networks set up and going. Real quick, Flux controller, we're just going to place this up there. We're going to set this to our output network so that it's always bound to our output network. Bypass limit, generally I set that. And we're going to enable wireless charging of our armor slots, our curio slots, our hotbar slots, and our hand slots. And basically what that'll do, it's going to keep our battery charged and our jetpack charged at all times. Cool. So it's just going to wirelessly charge all our stuff. 4,000 RF per tick out, apparently, because that's what these are capped at inputting. And it's going to do the thing. See, 4,000 RF per tick IO. So it's just going to fill it up. It is going to drain this guy, though. So we'll see where we end up overall. Okay. All that talking said and done. Now we can get to the meat and potatoes. So in order to get our garden cloche here, we're going to have to get a little bit into immersive engineering. As you can see here, I have a bunch of stuff. I basically have all the stuff that we need for our gas burning generator set up. I already made all that stuff. And then because as you saw earlier, I had the bonsai pot. I realized the bonsai pot wasn't going to work, so we can't use it. So we're going to have to kind of shift ideas here a little bit. First things first, though, I want to go ahead and make this windmill and get it off of our to-do list, this wind generator here, by doing this and this. I didn't mean to put those in my inventory just yet, but that way quests can be completed and we can actually start picking up some of these getting started quests, because now, I got a lot of things I need to pick up, but yeah, it's kind of a pain that it was bottlenecked by that. We can also go ahead and throw this like wind generator somewhere and generate some power. This guy is going to produce us 384 RF per tick just by sitting here. Like just chilling, doing nothing. I like that. Yeah. So we could feed this into that flux plug that's down there. We can just pump it right onto it. It's fine. I'll get this set up. Yeah, we have it. I'll let it sit here. It's going to be outdated modem of power generation soon, but we'll get it set up and I'll let it do the thing. So that gets the wind generator taken care of, and that way I can complete some more quests and get those off of our to-do list there. Okay, cool. So that's that. Immersive engineering. So we need to get creosote oil, right? In order to get into immersive engineering, we have to make what's called treated wood planks. In order to make treated wood planks, we need buckets of creosote oil. And there's two ways. You can go immersive engineering, but then you have to get into the blast furnace and then the coke oven in order to get creosote generated. Thermal is in the pack. We can go the thermal route. So in order to get thermal's creosote oil, we just need to make ourselves a pyrolyzer and then pyrolyze coal into coke and tar, and we get creosote oil as a byproduct. And a pyrolyzer really isn't that expensive. It's Constantin, some nether bricks, and a blaze rod. So let's go ahead and grab this bad boy. So nether bricks is going to be these guys, which we should be able to get with some netherrack. And we just need to throw this into our netherite furnace. Luckily, this thing is so fast, we should be okay to go pretty quickly. Hey, a little bit extra aluminium never hurts. So there's some nether bricks. We're also going to need to get Constantin gears, which is it specifically those? I like the other gear recipe, but I don't think that there is another one for Constantin. This requires so much. Multi-servo press with a gear working die. I haven't made a multi-servo press yet, have I? No. Constantin. That means I need 16. I mean, I have it. Whatever. It's fine. We have it. I'm not going to complain too much about it. Redstone flux cell and a machine frame. Bam. And then a pyrolyzer. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and get rid of our pulverizer redstone furnace for now. Honestly, I don't know why I made the redstone furnace, because we have a netherite furnace here. It was just for quest purposes. So pyrolyzer. Then we just need to get some coal thrown into this bad boy, and it's coal specifically, not charcoal. Luckily, we're using charcoal for all our power production and everything. Look, we're drained on power. We're already drained on power because now things are using more than what this can output. So let's go ahead and energy pipe. Do I have more? No. Let's at least give this a little bit of a help. Until we get this set up. And then energy pipe, and then pipe wrench. Extract it. Basic upgrade. That's you. And I'll grab another one for when we're in. Go back to our mining dimension. Bam. Now you'll be able to transfer all that power into our flux plug at 411 RF per tick. Yay. You're getting charcoal, right? 360 at 411. That doesn't seem right now, does it? You know what? Because this is the input side of this. And energy pipes don't work with flux plugs, I remember. And it's only on that side anyway. I remember having this issue before. You have to set up like an intermediary, like not a pipe, but something that can store the power, and then the flux plug will be able to access it. How about we just get another auxiliary reaction chamber and go that route to get us a little bit of a boost? This Sterling Dynamo should have those in there. Yeah. Bam. A little bit more power. I could even set up both of these, to be honest with you. Okay. So that is that. So that's going to get us our pyrolyzer. Pyrolyzer should be down here doing some work. Should be getting some creosote oil. Perfect. We got a bucket of it. I think we're going to ultimately need 2 buckets, but we'll see what we can make do with this. So there's a bucket of creosote oil and almost to another bucket, but we'll see what this one does for us. So we're going to get this. We're going to get some planks. We're going to make treated wood planks. Perfect. Treated wood planks are then going to be used to make ourselves an engineering workbench. We're going to need some slabs. A set of slabs. And then we're going to need fences, which is going to require some sticks. And we're out of planks already. Okay, everything can just go away. Just go away. And what was the thermal? Let's grab you. Go faster. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want to see. Okay, so that is more planks, which means we can make our fence now, which means we can make our crafting table, which requires some sticks. And then we're going to need another set of planks. And then bam, and bam. That gets us our engineer's workbench. And we'll just go, we're going to put this up top for the moment because it's kind of our catch-all area for all this extra stuff right now. Oh, now you face that way? Okay. So that's going to be our engineer's workbench. With our engineer's workbench, we're going to need to get some blueprints so we know how to make stuff. So let's get some blue dye. That is just lapis. Convert it over. Bam. We're missing some paper. Not anymore. And there we go. And with the engineer's blueprints, we're now going to be able to make the things that we need, which are iron mechanical components and an incandescent light bulb, because that is what is needed for the garden cloche. So let's do those things. So we're going to go ahead and make a iron mechanical component first. It's going to require 2 iron plates and a copper ingot. So let's get some copper. And do I have any iron plates chilling out, or am I going to have to make? I have some. So you are going to make those. Perfect. We just needed 1 of those for now. And then we're going to need to make incandescent light bulbs, which is 1 glass, 3 bamboo and or paper, and a copper ingot. So glass, some more paper. I need to get into refined. This whole system is driving me nuts. Basically, is where I'm at. Not you, but you are going to make incandescent light bulbs. Clean up inventory. You go there. You can go there. You can go there. And I'm just going to need, we may have the treated wood planks. I'm not 100%, but we should be able to do this. Yes. And there we go. Garden cloche, collected, gathered, gained, however you want to look at it. I am going to need 1 more flux point for this. So that way we can get power into it. Hopefully I have enough ender pearls still. I am going to go hunting for enderman because I now have looting 7. So we should be able to get plenty of ender pearls now. But let's do flux point. Also probably going to run out of obsidian soon. Okay, so garden cloche, if you've never used one of these bad boys before, it's going to get power. And we can put power in the top of this bad boy, I believe. Bam. We're going to set this to our output network. This is going to be called garden. I don't know what is going on with the typing. Garden cloche. And then all we got to do is put stuff in it, right? And you should be getting power unless we're out of power again. How you doing here, buddy? Inputting 531 and it's just chilling. So something, oh, this guy's using power. We can go ahead and stop this from operating. And now nothing else really should be using power. Honestly, I should just switch my, I should just, the builder, it was probably a little premature to set this guy up. Just go ahead and turn the builder off for a little bit. And now we should be net gaining on power again. Okay, you're inputting, which is fine. But where's all that power going? We literally only have 1 machine set up, and that's this guy. And it shouldn't be using power. One thing that we can do is network connections. We can kind of see what is going on with our network. So our garden cloche is using none. This flux point out in the mining dimension is still using 256 RF. You know why? Because it's filling up the buffer on the builder. Right? Yeah, let's just go ahead and we'll just disconnect that. That's fine. Okay, so we're still having network or power issues. This has a buffer? This says internal buffer on this thing. I did not know that this had an internal buffer of power. See, internal buffer is 1,000. So it's acting like this. Oh, you know why? Duh. I forgot. I always forget about this. It's charging me. All of my power is going into my battery right now because it's literally charging me up. We can go ahead and stop that from happening. Let's just throw you away. Honestly, we really don't even need the battery anymore since this charges things for us automatically. Now we're getting power. Okay, problem solved. And I know we're running over on this episode, but I at least want to get stuff, at least this part set up so we can start producing some melons. Now this guy is full. So all we got to do is put our melons in here, and then a piece of dirt. And there we go. Garden close should start producing melons for us, right? I don't see... Oh, and it needs water. And that's a good point right here. We need water. A sink is going to be the best way for us to get water into anything in the game, period. Very cheap. Iron, terracotta, which is just smelted clay, and a water bucket, and it produces infinite water for anything that we're going to need ever in the world. Water input on this bad boy is somewhere. Maybe we can just set this up here and play around with it. I always forget with the garden cloche how to hook this guy up, where exactly the input and outputs are on this thing, but he needs water. Water may be on the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Water's on the bottom. Now it's going to do the thing, and we're going to produce melons. We could also fill this up with bone meal if we wanted to and let it do its thing, but it's going to produce melons for us just over time, slowly but surely. See, it's going to grow. You can see its progress, and then melons come in, as it does its thing. There are ways to speed this up. We can use different kind of dirt or anything like that. So if we look at, I believe garden cloche should be in here. Yeah. Oh, you know what? It's just dirt. Dirt's the only thing that we can put in here to get this to go any faster. But anyway, melons will be produced, and we'll just let this run. I'm going to let this run here for now. Next episode, we're going to come back, and we're going to finish this process off then, because we did, we are out of time. I knew we had a lot to work on this episode, and that it may end up running over, and it did. Our cup runneth over with things to do, but that's okay, because it's content. You know what? It's content. So melons are going to be produced. We're going to let this run. Eventually, I'll probably kick back on my mining dimension thing now that we've kind of stabilized and I figured out what was going on with our power drain. It was my battery messing everything up. Always the batteries, It's always the things you forget about, too. You forget that you have power coming out of something, and then, you get a lot of whack. And then, you get out of whack. But that's that. So garden cloche set up. We're good to go. Infinite water source set up. We're probably going to set up a sink at some point with ender tanks, so that way we can move water around easily with an ender tank. But sinks are cheap, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Hey, I wonder, is the glitch still around where you can... Well, that was unfortunate. The glitch is around where you can dump your experience into a sink. But I don't get it back out. That was absolutely unfortunate. It used to be a glitch where you could, right click a sink with this thing and fill it up to 100% full. And apparently you can void your experience, but you can't pull out anymore. Good to know. We now have no experience. It's a good thing I want to go hunting Enderman and everything to get more Ender Pearls, because we've probably burnt through basically what we had. A few more left and everything, but not terrible. Not a whole lot. So, yeah. I think we're good. You guys think we're good? I think so. That's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate it. It really does help out the channel. Next episode, we're going to be getting our ethylene gas burning generator set up, getting a bunch of power, which is going to allow us to really speed up our builder out there in our mining dimension. And we're probably going to start working on heading towards the end very soon. So that way, Endermen are easier to farm. There's a few things out in the end that I want to get, like vibranium or titanium, unobtainium, which I think I need to go to the other first and get vibranium. Let's check out all the mods. What's the progression on this thing again? It goes eum. Yeah, that don't work. Ore. How about like ore? Okay, so it goes allthemodium, vibranium, and then there we go. Allthemodium, vibranium, unobtainium. And this is found in warped forests and crimson forests. Warped forests and crimson forests, player mineable only. So with that being said, we probably set our builder up in a warped forest and just have it void everything. And then that way the only thing that's floating around anymore is vibranium ore. I say that's a good idea. Is that the only place that vibranium is found? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I'm going to say vibranium. That's the only place. The reason we need vibranium, the only way to mine unobtainium is with vibranium. So we're going to have to make ourselves a vibranium pickaxe and then, do the thing. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.